stayed. For those who stayed. For the men who wake up every day, who rather than turn a blind eye, open their eyes, even if what they see isn't what they want to see. For those who stayed. For those who sacrificed the comfort of youthful things and instead looked ahead to a life that will become a template for the lives of those they were raising. This is for those who stayed, for those who tried. For those who tried to be good, for those who tried to do the right thing. For those who, in spite of the many vices that come their way, say, no, I'll stay. For those who could not join the friends, the gangs, the parties, the women, the drugs, not because they did not have the tendencies to, but because they knew that if they did, they would have to leave the inheritance that their heavenly Father said He would give them. This is for those fathers, those men who stayed. For those who adopted young boys and young girls who weren't even their own biological children. For those who said that even though you did not have a father, I will cover you. Even when the cover cloth that they had was just enough for their own biological children. And in those instances, they said, instead of you staying cold, I'll take off my shirt just so you could have a cover. This is for those who stayed. For those who yielded in worship, knowing fully well that they cannot father without being fathered by the Heavenly Father. This is for those men who knew that if they tried it on their own, they would fail. And you know, this point is not a revelation, but it is their experience, because many times these men have failed. But instead of running away, they came back saying, God, you are my Father. This is for those men who lived like prodigal sons, but they knew that they had a Father. And somewhere in the Father's heart is the love for staying. This is for those who became an evidence. Because you see, if you live long enough, boy, girl, child, no matter your age, you will enter the courts of life. And in the courts of life, life will tell you that you cannot make it. Life will tell you that you will fail. Life will tell you that there's nothing you want to do that you will succeed. But thank God for those fathers, those men who stayed and became the evidence for young men and young daughters and young women. And they told them that, know what? You will make it. They became the evidence for these people, these young boys, and they told them and said, you don't have to turn to drugs. No. You don't have to take that shot in your veins. All you need is a shot in life. This is for those men who shot us in the right direction when life was shooting us in the wrong direction. This is for those men that pointed us in the places that we should go and said, go ahead and make it. This is for those who stayed. For those who grew from young men who had no clue of how to live, who had no clue of what it meant to live for someone else. This is for those men that grew up in spite of the pain, in spite of the hardship. This is for those men who look after their young boys, who look after their young girls. This is for those men who look after their wives. This is for those men who chose the higher road to be responsible. This is for those men who chose to be dads. This is for those men who stayed.